Kevin De Bruyne, the face of the Premier League right now. Apparently, when he was younger, his parents tried to disown him or something.
What?
I don't know. That's why I'm watching this video. Today, I'm gonna do something that I normally don't do, and I stopped doing this like a while ago, maybe 2 months.
Okay.
Today, we're gonna be playing the intro. Play the intro, man.
I said what?
Welcome back to the Vinsky channel. How you guys doing? How you guys? And if you're new to the channel, please make sure you leave a like and subscribe. Follow the socials. Links are in the descriptions if you want to support.
We don't care. Let me tell you, we don't care.
Kevin De Bruyne, he was abandoned. But he was abandoned. Brother, I can't even say that name. He was abandoned, but when the money came, his family spun the block, you know what I'm saying? They were like, hey, bro, hey. Listen, I carried you for 9 months. I know you got that big check, so hey, share it, man, share it. But hey, you're gonna be watching this. I don't know how. I've never watched this video. I don't know how. But it's from, I can't even remember the channel. I'm gonna put it here. But hey, let's go, man. Subscribe.
So listen to this. De Bruyne is one of the most emotional and tragic life stories of any football player. And
Okay.
given that, it makes it 10 times more impressive that he has managed to become a football superstar. Right from the beginning, he was abandoned by his foster family and nearly expelled from
His foster family.
supposed to have had his big break. His girlfriend cheated on him with
Wait. We are moving too fast, bro. Relax, man, relax. So he does not have like his real parents.
I don't know, Jeff.
Maybe he doesn't even know who his mom, dad, whoever it. Okay. So we know that he was abandoned by his foster family.
with one of his teammates and made him a mental wreck. He
Couture.
ended up being deemed a flop by the media and still he used his anger as fuel to become greater. And in the end, he had reached the top. And
That's why he seems angry sometimes.
tragedy after tragedy. This is the incredible story of Kevin De Bruyne.
Kevin De Bruyne.
Enjoy. It all started in his garden, where after repeatedly breaking the pots, his parents forced him to only play with his weak foot. Looking back now,
What?
I guess it was a good decision. At 8 years of age, he was already getting into trouble. It had been 2 years
How do you force a kid to play with his weak foot because he's breaking pots, bro? I know I've broken some things in my mom's house playing football, but hey, there's never once, bro, she just told me play football outside, bro. If you play that thing in my house, I'm gonna throw it away, bro. But who does that?
since he joined his local club, KVV Tochen, and he was already trying to take the next step in his career. So
Okay.
he simply told his coach the training sessions are better at Ghent and moved to his new club. However, things at Ghent didn't get easier. He wasn't a troublemaker, but though he was oddly quiet,
Okay.
he had a really strong character. He was ambitious and overly honest. And it seems that kind of
Overly
his
honest.
teammates and even his coaches, who would try their hardest to make him normal. But though they tried a lot, they rarely ever succeeded. One time back then, he was so annoyed that one of them was always on his back that he refused to let go of the goalpost until he felt he had been understood. Except that by then, it was nighttime. That same
Wait, so they left a kid holding on to the goalpost till nighttime? Just because they don't want to listen to the kid, bro. They say Gen Z are bad parents. Who are his parents, bro? Or his foster parents? Or who was taking care of him, bro? This is crazy.
coach would go on to bow down and admit he is stubborn like a mule, but I can see now that's what made him so great. Regardless, over time news of his great talent traveled far and wide, and so Genk, knowing the kid was unhappy, convinced him to move all the way across the country all by himself.
Where?
Play for them. But it was at this moment that De Bruyne experienced his first heartbreak. After a year living in a boarding home, Genk made a special arrangement where young players, instead of being housed in their premises,
Okay.
would be hosted by a foster family. And so, De Bruyne, along with 2 of his teammates, moved in with his new family.
Okay.
But the past year had been tough for De Bruyne. He was already socially awkward back in his hometown, but now all the way across the country and speaking with a funny accent. Well, as he said it himself, they were the loneliest years
Yes.
ever live. Regardless, now with this new family, he felt safe. He wasn't so alone anymore, and it helped him.
I feel like every time you're trying to like chase something that's different from whoever is like in your circle or different from the people you know, you will always feel lonely, bro. Like right now, I'm doing YouTube, bro. I'm gonna tell you this: no one I know is doing YouTube, bro. Everybody thinks that I'm chasing something that will never happen. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still here. I'm still doing this. You know what I'm saying? So it's lonely. I don't think you guys have ever seen anyone in my videos. It's hella lonely, but it's the price you pay for going for something great. You know what I'm saying?
Then, after a year, he felt like it had all gone smoothly. He was doing good in school, doing good in football, no fights.
No fights, no problems.
He waved them goodbye before summer break. His foster family waved back and told him they'd see him next year. But the moment he arrived at his hometown, he walked into his house to find his mom crying. She looked at him and said something that in his own words shaped the rest of his life.
What did she say?
Foster family called and they don't want you there. It's not who you are. They said that you're too quiet, that they can't interact with you. You're just too difficult. The
What?
was obsessed over these words because no one had said anything.
Ooh.
He was so focused on making it that he had just tried his best not to cause any troubles, keeping quiet inside his room,
Okay.
waiting for the next training session. But turns out somehow that was a problem, and as his mother finished telling him what happened, he just picked up a foot.
So the kid was just trying to like stay out of the way because these are not your true parents, you know what I'm saying? So the foster families, they knew the parents were there because if he went back to his hometown to see his mom, then his mom was present. So only when he was at Genk was he with a foster family, but he was just trying to stay out the way, bro. I know being quiet as a kid might be deemed weird, like you might be labeled as the weird kid. Trust me, I've been there, but
From the floor and
it's just who you are, innit?
kicked the ball against the fence for hours, with those 5 words looping in his mind. It's about who you are. It's
About who you are.
who you are. The worst part wasn't even that he had been abandoned by these people who were family to him. The thing was that the club had been contacted and they now thought it was a problem, so much so that they weren't willing to pay for another foster family to take care of him.
Oh.
He'd be sent to another boarding home, but this one was special. It was a boarding home for troubled kids.
Dio.
Finally calmed down, he relaxed and said out loud to himself, "Everything is going to be okay. In 2 months, I'm going to be in the first team. No matter what, I am not going back home a failure. No
Damn.
matter what."
No matter
At
what.
this point, he was already 16, and though he had already played a few matches for the B team,
Okay.
he was, in his own words, a nobody. But that year, when the summer was over, he arrived at Genk, and I'll just quote him. "I had so much fire inside me, it was mad. I remember
That's
the exact
calf,
moment
the
everything
swag.
changed. We played on a Friday night, I started on the bench. When
I think everyone has that moment where everything changes, you know what I'm saying? Mine hasn't happened yet. I'm hoping it's coming soon, but I think everyone has that because I listened to Cristiano speak and he's like, I remember when it happened, you know what I'm saying?
Half, I just went crazy. 1 goal, they don't want you anymore. 2 goals, too quiet.
Too quiet.
3 goals, too difficult. 4 goals,
They don't want you anymore.
5 goals, because of who you are. I had scored 5 goals in a single half of football.
Dio.
It had been such an undeniable performance that De Bruyne was moved to the first team immediately.
Immediately.
1 month and
22
something days. He had actually made it to the first team faster than
Then he promised himself.
Once there, the club started acting a bit strange, saying they wanted to pay the foster family to get him back living with them. They even showed up and the foster parents told him it had all been a big misunderstanding, that obviously they would like him to stay. What they meant before was that they only wanted him to come over.
But they spun back because they saw the kid is becoming successful, you know what I'm saying? They knew the money was coming.
On weekends, but before they finished trying to dig themselves out of a hole, De Bruyne just said, "You threw me in the trash, and now that I'm doing good, you want me back?"
Damn.
And before they could even say something, he turned his back on them. Eventually, when he finally talked about this in an interview, he said that he should have probably thanked them. Because
He should
it was
have.
their actions that fueled him to become great.
Yeah.
Indeed, the following years were something special. In the first, he barely played. In the second, he started getting a few minutes and
38 games.
took the league by storm, getting 5 goals and assisting a further 16.
Damn.
Their third league title,
2010, 2011.
clinching it by half a point. That might sound weird, but it's actually true. In
How?
the Belgian league, in case of a tie in points, the portion of them obtained from the first stage is rounded down half a point, and that's just what happened that year.
What?
Title race.
That's weird, bro.
Drop a like on the video. That same year,
Like the video, bro.
go another step further, earning his debut for the
Boom.
Belgian national team and instantly impressing everyone there, with Vincent Kompany even saying that by the time their first training session together
Wait, bro. Why did you say Vincent? It's Vincent, bro. Vincent Kompany. Who the fuck is Vincent Kompany?
was over, all the players were chatting to each other like, "Did you see that?
Did you see that?
He's already the best player in the team."
Damn.
Also, fun fact, his mom was actually born in Burundi, in Africa, so technically he could have played for them instead. Wonder why he didn't, huh?
139.
Success. Don't think for a second that De Bruyne
So De Bruyne is African. What?
career was full of strange moments. First, at 19, he saw fit to confront the team's star player, Elianiv Barda, to complain that he didn't work hard enough in training. And then, in 2012, he got so annoyed at his team's poor performances that he used the post-match press conference to say,
What?
"I'm ashamed of my teammates, and I suggest to those who don't have a desire to play, just leave." But in the end, it would actually be De Bruyne who
That's
signing for Chelsea was
that's what I was about to say. Because players don't do this these days. Because, bro, you do this, you're out. The coach ices you out, bro. I think back then you could say anything except if you were at Manchester United. Roy Keane tried it and he never played for Man United again. But
so
I understand him, bro.
says that they intended to make him their Frank Lampard replacement, but before that, he would go on loan to Werder Bremen. In the Bundesliga,
Werder Bremen.
cemented his status as one of the world's greatest up-and-coming talents. If others had made waves with flashy skills, De Bruyne was simple, and somehow that was even more impressive.
Yep.
Because just as Cruyff had once
The game is
said,
simple
football
now.
is simple, but
Yup.
playing simple football is the
It's the hardest thing there is, bro.
Even with Bremen fighting with
bro,
relegation, De Bruyne pulled off 10 goals in 9
Wait, you guys know I don't play football. Like, I don't play football that much. But these days, I'm still good, but I'm focusing on this. I just want to I'm gonna go back to playing football. That's all I'm trying to say. But I tried playing football the other day and I went out to play with some of the teenagers that play in my area, and bro, they're bad, bro. Like, making a simple pass difficult, bro. Difficult.
assists.
They need training,
Took
bro.
the award for Young Player of the Year. It was now time to focus and take over the Premier League. But focus was something De Bruyne struggled with that season, because it just happened to be that year that his girlfriend cheated on him with his childhood
So that's why
academy and international teammate
Courtois.
Courtois. She
Damn.
wasn't even nice about it, confirming the whole scandal to the press and making sure to say that Courtois gave her in one night more than De Bruyne had given her in 3 years.
So that statement is true. Like, she got the man dingo dick from, what did he say? Courtois. That's crazy, bro. I will never wish that on my biggest enemy. I'm not gonna lie.
Though, to be fair, she would make sure to say that she did it out of revenge. Supposedly, De Bruyne had cheated on her months.
Oh.
Still, with his form hitting a low point just when he needed to be performing the most, and Mourinho giving him a hard time, De Bruyne would be sold after just half a season playing at Chelsea.
Yeah.
Only managed 1 assist and not a single goal at that point. His next destination was Wolfsburg.
Mourinho was serious.
Again, De Bruyne channeled his rage into his game, even with Courtois joining Chelsea after he departed. In what
Damn.
poetic injustice, De Bruyne still managed to remain calm and be the bigger man, allowing Courtois to continue playing for the Belgian national team.
My question
Coach
is, did Courtois know that was De Bruyne's girlfriend and he decided to do it, because that's where the difference is. If Courtois didn't know, that's different. But if Courtois knew, brother, Courtois is an op, bro. If I have De Bruyne, Courtois is an op.
In fact, that's
Courtois is an op.
De Bruyne was Belgium's top scorer in the qualifying stage, leading them to their first international tournament in 12 years.
Okay.
Once the next season started, De Bruyne took advantage of this blank canvas he had been given and created a masterpiece. With 16 goals, scoring 2 against Bayern in a match that ended up becoming their first defeat in nearly a year, as well as an absurd 27 assists, 21 of which came in the league. At the time,
27 assists.
It took Wolfsburg to a cup title and second place only behind Bayern, and to top it all off, he earned a place at the Ballon d'Or and won the award for the league's Player of the Year. And you're wondering how we managed to make such a comeback.
Okay, I never knew that. Took them to second. That's why I say about De Bruyne, bro. Took them to second, was in the Ballon d'Or listings, and won best player of the league. Crazy.
Having his heart broken.
Crazy.
Well, that year, he met his future wife. He was so insecure after years of media persecution that his friend had to take his phone and send that first text, but now, De Bruyne says that she changed his life, that without her, he would have never been able to get out of his shell.
What?
At the end of the year, they were already about to have their first child, and unfortunately, a major scare arrived when one morning, his wife woke up and she was bleeding. The moment
they thought they were gonna have
hallway,
a miscarriage.
realized that there was much more to life than football, and though in the end everyone was okay, he had once again had a life-changing moment. From there on out, he didn't play because he had a fire in him that needed to be fueled. He played because he was in love with the game. And 1 year after his move to Manchester,
that's how it's supposed to be, bro.
6 million euros, making him the league's most expensive ever player, depending on the currency. One man arrived that changed his life forever. Pep Guardiola.
So there was a time where 76 million pounds was the most a player had ever been bought for in the Premier League, bro. Now it's 100. The likes of Anthony, they've been bought for hundreds, bro.
Ever since his return to the league, De Bruyne was labeled a flop, a Chelsea reject. But then Guardiola sat De Bruyne down and told him quite simply, Kevin, listen. You can be a top 5 player in the world. Top 5 easily. If previously De Bruyne struggled with authoritarian coaches, this was the perfect approach. There was no need for being fired up. De Bruyne didn't need to prove Pep Guardiola wrong. He wanted to prove him right, and with every season that came after that, claims that he wasn't anything more than a Chelsea flop crumbled bit by bit.
Yeah, nobody's saying that now, bro.
Topped the assist charts with 16 assists and led City to become the first ever club to hit 100 points.
Damn.
Over summer,
United second.
Only continued escalating as after a number of underwhelming tournaments with Belgium, De Bruyne finally managed to live out his dream of bringing glory back to the national team, pairing up with Eden Hazard for one of their most successful ever tournaments, even scoring the winning goal to take down Brazil in the quarterfinals.
Okay.
Before going down to France and beating England to conquer the bronze medal. Belgium's highest ever achievement at the World Cup.
Damn.
The Ballon d'Or rankings now consider him a top 10 player in the world. Guardiola's claims
that's the year
they coming true.
They robbed Cristiano, bro.
Another tough year. His injuries came over and over again, and the day after his second son was born, De Bruyne tore a ligament in his knee, leaving him in a brace. He called his wife and she noticed a tear in his eye.
Okay.
He told her, I'm not gonna be able to even dress myself. You're gonna have 3 babies at home now. And he quite simply broke down crying. She was as worried as she was.
Okay, listen. I know, like, you're trying to tell us a story, you're trying to keep it engaging and stuff. But bro, how do you know he broke down crying? How do you know he told his wife this thing? Maybe he said it in an interview and I don't know, but bro.
Shocked. Once he calmed down, she told
How are you knowing these things, bro?
At our wedding, you didn't cry when the kids were born, and one was literally born yesterday. Reflecting on that moment, it would go on to say, weddings and funerals, I'm a rock, but take football away from me and I'm done. Worry not.
Facts, bro.
Into shape, he did not look back. The 1920 season became a staple of his career, and even if City failed to win the title, with 20 assists, not to mention an extra 13 goals,
Damn.
De Bruyne had tied the legendary Thierry Henry for the league's all-time assist record, and had been named the best player.
Bro, who did you say? Who did you say? Thierry Henry. Who is the
Had the Ballon d'Or been a thing in 2020, he would most likely have been picked as one of the 5 best in the world, but I guess we'll have to wait. Ever since then he has continued to excel. He's on the way to a 4th Premier League title, and just a few weeks ago he scored and assisted against Real Madrid to no effect, as City once again will miss the Champions League final. It's the one thing keeping De Bruyne from going head to head with pretty much any midfielder who ever played the game. As Guardiola once said,
I think he does now.
Sits on a table all by himself, but De Bruyne, he can certainly sit on the table beside it.
Now he's won a Champions League, obviously, so he's good. Tell me what you thought of that. Tell me what else you want me to check out. I'll check out, and I'll see you, man. But I don't know how to do this anymore. I'll see you in my next video, bro.